Hello and welcome to this A1 Beginner Lesson 42 with me, Kate. Today we will be looking at past simple regular verbs. But first I want to introduce some new vocabulary. Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Have you read any of the Harry Potter books? Have you seen any of the Harry Potter films? Of course, in the story, Harry Potter is a wizard. A wizard. And who wrote the Harry Potter books? That was, of course, J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling. Two other important words and phrases for today. We have the verb phrase to get married. To get married. And the word unemployed. Unemployed. Okay. Let's find out a little bit more about J.K. Rowling. I'm going to read this text. I want you to listen and follow. Here we go. The Writer and the Wizard. J.K. Rowling was born in England in 1965. She loved reading and wrote her first story, Rabbit, when she was only 6 years old. She studied French at university, then worked as a secretary in London. She had the idea for Harry Potter when she was on a train. Harry just walked into my head, she said later. She started writing the first Harry Potter book the next day. In 1992, she went to live in Portugal for 3 years. She wrote Harry Potter in the morning and worked as an English teacher in the afternoon and evening. She got married to a Portuguese TV journalist and had a daughter called Jessica. Then she returned to Britain and lived in Edinburgh in Scotland. She was unemployed at the time and wrote in cafes because they were warmer than her small flat. After 5 years, she finished the first book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. The book sold millions of copies all over the world, and Joanne Kathleen Rowling became very famous. She is now very rich, but she still writes her books in cafes. Okay, here I have 9 sentences from the text. She finished her first Harry Potter book. She got married and had a daughter. She studied French at university. She became very famous. She moved to Scotland. She started writing her first Harry Potter book. She wrote her first story, Rabbit. She worked in Portugal as an English teacher, and she was unemployed. There are 9 sentences there. I want you to order them from 1 to 9. Which of these sentences comes first? I'll give you that one. So number 1, she wrote her first story, Rabbit. Now I want you to put the rest of the sentences in order all the way down to 9. If you need some thinking time and you want to pause the video, do that now. Okay, how did you get on? What's sentence number 2? She studied French at university. She studied French at university. Number 3. She started writing her first Harry Potter book. She started writing her first Harry Potter book. Number 4. She worked in Portugal as an English teacher. She worked in Portugal as an English teacher. Number 5. She got married and had a daughter. She got married and had a daughter. Number 6. She moved to Scotland. She moved to Scotland. Number 7. She was unemployed. She was unemployed. Number 8. She finished her first Harry Potter book. She finished her first Harry Potter book. And number 9. She became very famous. She became very famous. Now, of course, all of these sentences are about the past. Some of them have irregular verbs in them, like got married, became, wrote, and was. The others have regular verbs: finished, studied, moved, started, and worked. Let's have a look at these verbs. What are the past forms of these regular verbs? Work, worked, start, started. You can see that with regular verbs, when we put them in the past form, we add ed. Let's continue. Live, lived. If the verb already ends in an e, we just add a d. Study, studied. If the verb ends in a y, we get rid of the y and we add ied. Okay, can you now tell me the past forms of these regular verbs? If you need some thinking time and you want to pause the video, do that now. Okay, let's have a look. Watch, watched, work, worked, start, started, like, liked, talk, talked, return, returned, love, loved, hate, hated, marry, married. Okay, finally today I have some more sentences about J.K. Rowling, but the verbs are not included in their past form. I want you to complete the sentences about J.K. Rowling, changing the verbs into their past form. But be careful, some verbs are irregular. Again, if you want some thinking time and you want to pause the video, do that now. Okay, let's see how you got on. A. As a child, she liked reading. She wrote her first story when she was 6. As a child, she liked reading. She wrote her first story when she was 6. B. After university, she worked as a secretary. After university, she worked as a secretary. C. She had the idea for Harry Potter on a train journey and started writing the book the next day. She had the idea for Harry Potter on a train journey and started writing the book the next day. D. In Portugal, she worked as a teacher in the afternoon and evening and wrote Harry Potter in the morning. In Portugal, she worked as a teacher in the afternoon and evening and wrote Harry Potter in the morning. E. In Edinburgh, she lived in a small, cold flat. In Edinburgh, she lived in a small, cold flat. F. She finished the first Harry Potter book in a cafe. She finished the first Harry Potter book in a cafe. Well done, thank you very much for today. Before you go, I have 2 questions for you. What did you study at school? Where did you work when you left school? Can you write the answers in the comments below? Be careful to use the correct past forms. Also, don't forget to subscribe and show your support. And coming next in lesson 43, we will be looking at months and dates. Thanks very much for watching. Have a great day. Goodbye.